Welcome to my little mini series here. Today we're going to discuss the popular question, when are you going to send your child back to school? I cannot tell you the amount of times I have been asked that question. I don't understand why that's a question, but I guess from the public school end of things, if that's what someone's been like super used to, I guess they feel like we're only gonna be able to wing this for the younger years, and then what are you going to do when they're older? I mean, you're not qualified. Let's freaking talk about it. If you're new here, I'm Nikki. I'm a homeschool mom to an only child in 4th grade, and this is our 5th year homeschooling. We have always homeschooled from the start. She did go to preschool in a non-formal setting of a preschool. It was like a class for a high school student to take. And so she had like, 20 something teachers. So I don't even want to count that because, whatever. Anyways, so I fully intended to send my child to kindergarten, but there was always this like pang in my heart that was telling me, don't do it. I'm going to miss her so much. I'm going to miss this bond and these one-on-one times because I was a stay-at-home parent. And then COVID kind of took over. And so that easily made me not want to send her to school for her first experience in school in that type of environment. So we decided to homeschool, and I bought all the things and I did everything wrong to start. Let's just put it that way. And I fell in love with it. The sun is blaring in my face. She fell in love with it, and the bond that we have is unbreakable. It's unbreakable. And so, but the time after time after time when we run into people or family or even friends are like, when are you going to send her back to school? Listen, if you ever get this question, I want you to come up with the most insane response back, because it's almost like people judge you and think that you're not capable of teaching your child. I get it. I don't have a teacher's degree, but if we back up that theory of a degree, it's just a degree. I don't know my best friend's kid on the same level that I know my kid, even if they're my best friend's kid. I may know them and I may love them like my own, but they're still not my child, and I still don't know them 100%. And here's the thing, like, you know your child best. You don't have to be educated. You can learn alongside them. And I think that peeves a lot of people because they assume that like that means that they're not going to get this like well-rounded education. But let me tell you, like, my child is freaking smart, okay? And I'm learning alongside her, but I'm giving her the benefit of so much more than sitting at a desk. We're able to go on so many field trips. We're able to do so many things that the public school kids can't do. And then, it's fair to say that public school is getting some things that I can't provide for her either, like on the same level, like I can't even think of an example, like they're constantly have group work. Well, I have an only child, so I don't always get to put her in like a group work type of environment. But let's get back to the question of, should I send, or when are you going to send your kid back to school? And I've come up with like the creative way of like my creative way of just saying never. Like, I love to see their responses when I say that. Now, we evaluate on a year-to-year basis. She is very much involved in that decision, and it has always been both decision. It has always been both of our decision on whether or not we continue to homeschool. She has her input. Ultimately, I have the final decision, but she is very much involved in that discussion. And every year, 100%, it's always, yes, we're homeschooling. Now, in the last like month, she claimed that she thought it looked cool on some of the movies and some shows that she watches. But in reality, it came down to nothing else seemed cool to her or exciting or fun or whatever. So it quickly got nixed, basically. But I don't understand. Like, we are qualified. And I think that's what we have to drill home to people who want us to bring our kids back to school. Tell them how we're qualified, what we're qualified in as a parent. Tell them what they're learning. Like, maybe they're learning, like my child is learning all about Pokemon right now. Like, so can they say that their kid is learning all about that in school? No, but I'm able to create a personalized education for her. But that question just peeves me every time, and I've gotten it literally a million times, and I challenge you to come up with the most creative answer for them. And honestly, it makes me a little angry every time I hear it. So I'm just like, never. Because then they judge me even more and look at me crazy. But here's the thing, like, if you have the will and the drive and you really want your child to learn, then make it happen. You're the one that's going to do that, and you're the one that's going to make sure that they get the education that they want. Like, you are the one that's going to make it happen. You know, you always hear of, oh, they had such a bad teacher that year. That means that they literally suffered that whole school year in public school for a teacher that was mediocre. And we're going to have our bad years as well, but it's typically not the same as you would explain it in a public school situation. So I don't want to say that I had a wasted year. I want to say that we did this, and this, and it was successful, or it failed because of something, but not in the way that it would in a public school setting. Now, we also have the advantage where if there's bullying going on, I don't have to send my kid to school. And in fact, anytime we are around a group of public school kids, you could just tell that they're a public school kid. And I'm not saying that as they're bad or anything like that. It's just different. Homeschool kids have the advantage of hanging around with kids of all ages. They are not essentially freaking out, so to say, when there's like a younger kid in the mix or telling them to go away and stuff like that. Like, I have not come across that in this homeschool stuff. But the public school kids seem to like push that away, and that kind of irks me. But here's the thing, like, we have so much opportunity, and if we grab it and take it, then there should be no reason why we need to send our kids back to public school, unless it's for like a financial reason. Your kid really, really, really wants that, and that is a decision that you and your family has come to. It is totally up to you, but there's no reason for it, because we can provide our kids with everything the public school system has. We can be their aid. They don't need an IEP at home because we are that person. We could hire help. We could X, Y, and Z this. Like, there is always an option and always a way. And that is what I like to envision when I think of whether or not I need to send my kid to public school. Go down the list of reasons why you think that would be. And if you truly think that that's the best, then that's the best for your family. But if some stranger, Joe Schmo, has to ask you that question, flat up tell them, like, technically it's none of their business, but come up with that creative answer, because it is BS that anyone puts themselves in that position to ask us our business. Half the time when they compliment my daughter on how smart she is and how amazing she is, and then I get that same like, well, when are you going to send her to school? Well, if you see that she's so smart and she's amazing, what makes you think I need to send her to school? Like, I've obviously done a really freaking good job so far, and she's done a really good job so far. So why would I need to change that? Food for thought. Anyways, I'll see you in my next one. Bye.